do a sweep on the injuries if that's okay. The ones from the other night. Device, is he okay?
Burke and Device won't play.
He won't play?
No, they're not available. Device got a head injury, so he's going to go through the FA concussion protocol. So we'll start full training back on next Tuesday. So he misses the weekend, and Riesberg's got a hip groin injury, so he misses the weekend as well.
How serious is that one?
We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we'll assess it, see if it settles down. But he's not ready for the weekend.
Where does that leave you in terms of defenders?
Well, we've got, I thought Robbie McKenzie did ever so well when he came on the other night. Andre Mazuch will be in the squad. Not ready to play a full 90-minute game of football in the championship level, but he'll come into the squad.
Would you have any hesitation starting Robbie McKenzie in a championship fixture?
No.
You think he will start?
No, I really like Robbie. I've said it all the way through. He's been on the bench for a lot of games, been really impressed with him. And he can play in several positions, which is good. I thought he did really well the other night when he came on, as he did when he came on against Rotherham, when we won against in that game.
What do you like about him?
He's got everything. He's quick, he's fit, he gets about his business, he's a good defender, he's got a great character about himself. I'd like him to be a little bit more vocal, but that'll just come with time and experience. He does all the things you want. He's on the training ground every single day. Touch wood, he doesn't miss a thing. He gets better and better and better. On
Mazuk, you'd say he's not able to start 90 minutes. Does that mean you can't start with him then?
Well, you can start with him, but it'd be a massive risk for him to get through. So obviously these are things that we'll consider. Andre obviously got a knee injury first when we were out in Portugal. So he's been nursing his way back. Obviously he played 60 minutes for the under-23s last weekend. So we're building it up, and he's doing more in training, so he's getting stronger and stronger. Obviously, you look at his injury history from last season as well. So we've got to try and make sure we give him every opportunity to be right. But Andre's there and is available if required.
And Angus McDonald's still too soon, is it?
Yeah, Angus is not available. He's with the medical department. As I said, I've already highlighted that he went down with a calf issue, so he's with the medical team for the foreseeable future. Because
of the defensive shortages, can you continue with three at the back, or do you have to change it? Have you got enough to play three at the back?
Well, listen, we can do whatever we want to go and do. We've got a game tomorrow which we know is going to be very competitive. Obviously Bolton, notoriously, they're going to be a big side, they're going to be a direct side. We're going to have to be really good on set plays, so we've got to make sure that we can compete from that point of view. They'll also be able to play, but I'm looking at us and the way we've been playing. We've created a lot of chances of late. We've got a formation that we've played in the last 5 or 6 games that the players are comfortable with. We're creating a lot of chances. We've looked defensively solid. There's a spirit about ourselves. There's an organisation about ourselves. Yes, we're getting challenged again with the injuries that have just come in. You want to be consistent with your team selections if you can, but we've got a spirit about ourselves that everyone's having a right good go for each other. Again, we're going to be tested at the weekend, but we're up for that test.
Stephen Kingsley, would he be fit?
Stephen's he's going to be on the training ground this morning. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
So obviously he's not been fit. So listen, we're having the media conference we've got now is 9 o'clock in the morning. We're going to get on the grass this morning and we'll see where 1 or 2 other players are. But the 2 things that from the other night, Riesberg and Jordy Device won't be available for the weekend.
Marcus Henriksen, again, we check on him today.
We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it's one of them. We'll see how it goes through this morning, and we'll make the call tomorrow on the team. So we'll just see how people get through this morning. I'm sure everyone will want to put themselves forward because we've got a spirit about ourselves. And again, when you're in a situation like this, I've talked about it many times, you find out about yourself, you find about your teammates, the people you're surrounded with, and you find out who wants to be up for the battle and up for the fight. And when you do come through the situations, you look back on it and think, yeah, when the going got tough, he was with us. So that's an important thing.
Does the nature of these last 2 games make it even harder for the players to keep their heads up because they're conceding so late in games? They're sucker punches, really, aren't they?
Well, what we've got is belief about ourselves. You've seen us. When we go back to, we beat Ipswich Town, but then you look at the Middlesbrough, the Leeds, the Sheffield United, the Preston, and the other night against Bristol City. There's a spirit, there's an organisation, they're grafting. Again, a lot of the players from a fitness point of view, individually and as a team, they put a right shift in. We got the sports science that we use, the GPS, for example, the system on that demonstrated again. The players are working their socks off, and we're creating a lot of chances. got to keep doing that if you want to give yourself a chance to go and win. And what we will do is we'll keep our spirits high, because we have to. And I'm always one who's very, upbeat, and that will continue. And we'll keep believing in what we do, because we believe what we're doing is right. We always analyse things, because you're looking to learn lessons all the time to keep improving, and we'll steadily keep improving. But the big thing is you've got to have a spirit about yourself, and we've got that. The players are working their socks off for each other. We're creating chances. We do look solid defensively as well. Sometimes it's the fine margins, and we've got to get them fine margins right moving forward.
These late goals, is that a concentration thing? How do you stop them?
Well, I was really annoyed with the 2 goals that we've gone and conceded, especially the one against Bristol City, because we've got a throw-in in the attacking third. It's one of the big things, big bugbears of mine, a throw-in's giving a ball away from a throw-in. So obviously you're looking for movements in front of the guy who's got the throw-in, but we've actually put it in the corner flag. So for them to go from there, having not closed that down quick enough, and then to lose a ball and knock down the middle of the pitch and lose another, not get close enough, and then not stopping the shot coming in, and then not getting on the rebound, that's annoying, because it's gone from one end of the pitch all the way down to the other. So, but that's happened, and you've got to deal with it.
How do you see the challenge of Bolton? They're physical side, aren't they?
Yeah, listen, Parky's done a great job there. We know what to expect. They were beaten midweek as well, so they'll want a response from their side. They're at home. It's going to be a challenging game, but it's going to be a very competitive game. We know that. So we're going in there with no illusions. We have to compete, and we have been competing. So we've got to go and compete again. We know we've got to be big enough to deal with set plays. 1, don't give set plays away in the first place. But 2, you're going to have to, the one-on-one duels, there might be a mismatch against us in the game. But whoever you're marking, you've got to make sure that you do your job against them and don't give them an opportunity to go and score.
Do you see them as a rival when you look at the table and where they are, where you are?
I just look, everyone's a rival. I'm looking at where we are at this moment in time. Our next game is everything we've got to focus on. So forget the league table. As we talked about it so many times, you plan and prepare for a game, do everything you can to go and win it, analyse it, learn the lessons from it, draw a line underneath it, move on to the next one. And the next one is obviously Bolton. I've always talked about when you're doing well, what's the environment like when you're doing well? It's happy, it's hard working, people are in early, they leave a little bit later, they speak with each other, they try and improve all the time. So if that's the environment that it should be when you're doing well, you've got to keep that environment doing well. You've got to keep that culture around yourself in preparation for the next game, because that's what you've got to go and do.
It's a bit different way then. Is there a mini league down the bottom of the championship when you look at it, and there's a bit of a gap, isn't there, between perhaps the bottom 6 or 7 and
yeah. So we flip it that way then. We actually did it last season when we stayed up. When we came in, we actually looked at the bottom 10 teams in the division, and we said, right, let's see if we can get to the top of that division. Right, forget the whole league table, we broke it down a little bit more, and we looked at the teams that were performing around us, and we put ourselves in a league table. Now going into the other night, we were 3rd in that table in respect of the current form side of things. That was a new one that we put together, so we put it in blocks. So every team that's close to you in the division, it's a bigger game in respective. You've got to go and make sure that you get the 3 points, or at least get 1 point from it. So it's going to be a challenging game. We know that. We're getting challenged at this moment in time. That's the way it is. But as I said, you find out about yourself, your teammates, the people you're surrounded with, and as long as everybody's prepared to grab an oar and have a right good go for each other, you've got a chance.
We're only a third of the way into the season, but is this already a relegation battle in your mind?
It's fair to say, Phil, that before a ball had even been kicked this season, everybody,
so it was from the kick-off.
Everybody from outside our dressing room had tipped us to be in this position. That's fair to say. So we are where everyone expects us to go and be. Now what we've got to do is keep that spirit, keep that spirit and that organisation and that togetherness to keep grafting and grinding through and have that grit and determination to prove everybody wrong.
Was it where you expected to be?
Listen, it's fair to say that in the summer, obviously I spoke with the owner and made it perfectly clear this could be a challenging season. It's a challenging season. So what are we going to do about it? We're going to whinge about it, not going to get us anywhere. We've got to do all the things that we can go and control. And I'd like to think we're doing that at the football club, certainly down here at the training ground. and the next game is the important one, and we'll get ourselves ready for it, and we'll do everything we can to go and win it. And maybe, just maybe, if we keep working hard, the fortune might just change for us.
We're into that time of the year where some chairmen get edgy. We saw Paul Hurst yesterday. Tough times, aren't they? Do you still feel like you have your owners backing?
Yes, I do. But listen, this is professional football. These are the pressures of professional football, and I'm well aware of it, having been managed for a long time. These are the pressures of professional football. So you're aware of them, can't affect them, don't worry about them. What can you do? Do your job. Concentrate on what you're doing, the culture you have at the football ground, and all the energies that you've got, you spend on doing what you can go and control, and don't waste energy thinking about things you can't control. I think that's an important message. But yeah, listen, we're well aware of it. People will want change if you're a team that's struggling. People will want change if you're a team that's mid-table. People will want change if you're at the top. People will want change after 6 months, 5 months, 1 year, 2 years. How many managers last more than 2 years? How many managers? I think first-time managers, the LMA stats, my first-time managers, 55% of them never work again. We want immediacy. Everyone wants to try and get the results straight away. How can you go and build something? How can managers have a chance when they go in? And quite often they've inherited 5 previous managers, players to start off with. How do you want to go and play when you've probably got a mismatch of a squad of players who, you want to try and maybe play one certain way, and you recruit to a certain way of playing, but there's several different formations that have been put in there. So that's what happens in the modern day football, right? If you have continuity, you have a structure, you have a plan, you give yourself more of an opportunity. But I'm well aware this is what football is. This is the modern day football. So can't control that. Control what I can go and control in respect of how we keep everybody working hard. And I think we've demonstrated that everyone is working hard.
When you say you think you've got the owners backing, what gives you that belief? Do you speak regularly? Have you got a good relationship?
Relationships as good as you're going to get with owner and manager. We speak. He's given me no indication whatsoever that there's any threats. I'm getting on and doing my job. Listen, there's been loads of talk about takeover. Who knows what's going to happen with that? I'm focusing on what I can go and control. We are working on what we can go and control. As I said, there's a spirit about the players. They're all having a right good go. They need to have a right good go on Saturday because it's going to be very competitive. We're creating chances. We look defensively solid. Now, there's a formula to start off with that thinks, well, everyone's at least having a go for each other, which is an important aspect that you've got to go and have.
Can one win change everything? Have you got to believe that?
I certainly believe, and from my point of view, one result, 3 points, isn't going to keep us up. We need a lot more than that. But it's kind of like the momentum. Sometimes when you're on a downward momentum, you've got to break that chain. So like you look at us, we've changed the formation. It's kind of like if things aren't working, change the formation, change the players, change the formation, change the players. Ultimately, as you've just touched on there, further down the line, change the manager. That's what happens. That's what happens, right? So that's the reality of it. But from my point of view, we're working really hard. The players are giving everything. We're creating chances. The staff have been magnificent. Going back to your original question, the relationship with the owner is a good one.